If you've got a marketing agency, then you're going to want to pay careful attention, because in this video, I'm going to show you the absolute best services to offer your clients that are, number one, going to help you make a whole lot more money, 8 times more profit to be exact. Number two, get your clients better results than they ever thought possible. And this means happier clients, longer retention, and more referrals. And number three, I'll show you how to combine these elements so that you're able to multiply your agency's profits with basically no extra work on your part.
Shut up and take my money.
And the best part is, I know that these will work for you, because over the past 10 years, I've used every strategy that I'm about to share with you to build multiple 7-figure agencies, with my last agency reaching 100K a month in just 30 days. So if you're serious about taking your agency to the next level and changing your financial situation forever, it's time to focus. Get rid of any distractions, grab a pen and notepad or the Notes app on your phone, and let's dive in. And the very first place that we need to start is by outlining high profit services, essentially what they are, what they look like, and why we even want to be talking about these things in the first place, especially in today's age of AI automation agencies and SaaS agencies, and all of these other relatively low entry, low barrier, low profit services that you can offer that rely on just a massive quantity of potential clients in order for you to make 10K a month, much less 20, 50, 100K a month. Well, first of all, a high profit service focuses only on the most valuable thing that you can offer to potential clients. This is incredibly powerful because rather than spreading yourself incredibly thin, trying to do all of the things for all of the people and offering a million different services, you get to focus on only the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things that are actually going to move the needle in your client's business. Next, a high profit service delivers results that your clients actually care about. And a bit of a shocker here, but your clients don't care about likes or comments or shares or page growth or social media engagement or any of that nonsense. What they care about is cash in the bank, profit, revenue, actually growing their business. And we're going to talk a whole lot more about that later, because this is probably one of the most important things to understand and can literally transform your entire agency. Next, a high profit service is something that's going to make your client a whole lot more money. So not only is it going to deliver results that they care about, but it's going to deliver them in a higher capacity, a higher threshold, basically more money in their pockets. And the more money that you're able to make for them, and the better that you're able to tie this to the work that you're doing, again, more on that in just a minute, well, the more money that you're going to be able to charge. And lastly, this differentiates you from basically all of the other agencies out there, especially the ones that are talking about the likes, the comments, the shares, the content, the video editing, the short form strategies, all of that other stuff. If you're the one that's actually focused on giving them the goods, the things that they actually care about, that deliver all of these results, your agency will stand head and shoulders above them all. Of course, it does get better than that. As if that wasn't compelling enough, what this also means is that you're able to essentially focus and drill things down into what we call the rule of 1. Now, the rule of 1 is for any agency that's doing less than $1 million a year, which is 99% of agencies. So if you're in here and you feel like you're unable to get to the next level, you're unable to hit consistent 5K months, 10K months, much less 100K months, the rule of 1 is something that you've got to live and die by. And essentially what it comes down to is 1 of absolutely everything. So we're talking about solving one problem. We're talking about solving that problem for one kind of client, one avatar. This is why we niche down. It's why it's so incredibly important to pick a niche, to go deep on that rather than having 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 niches or being the jack of all trades to everybody. This is also why we do this through one specific path. This is your signature system. This is the process you use. This is the steps that you use in order to accomplish the goals, to get the results for the clients that you're working for. No matter what, even if you're just getting started, there's still probably a system or a path or a series of steps that you're going to walk people through. We give this a name, we package it, we present it so that it is more differentiated to your clients. But regardless, there is going to be something that you're going to use there. And that's it. One problem, one client, one specific path. The rule of 1. This is enough to get you to 7 figures. If you're serving multiple different kinds of clients, you're doing something wrong. If you're serving multiple different paths, offering all kinds of different services, you're doing something wrong. If you're solving all kinds of different problems, trying to do SEO and lead gen and web design and branding and content, you're doing something wrong. The good news is solving this is actually really simple. We just 80-20 the entire thing, focusing on the 20% of things that you can do that are going to get you 80% of the results. And the beauty is we could take this a step further, because with these high profit services, there's some other things that we need them to really deliver and to focus on. Get results. We talked about that one, but gets results fast. Now, full disclosure, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a make money overnight kind of thing. However, if you go to your potential clients with two different services, option A and option B, and option A is going to take 30 days to get any kind of measurable result, and option B is going to take 3 days, they're going to go with option B. Even if we know that long term we're going to have to focus on option A, let's say some kind of SEO or some other kind of ranking strategy or even a content strategy that's going to take time to accumulate and build up the content, we still need some kind of a quick win under our an ace up our sleeves that we're able to deliver for them. I'll show you exactly what this looks like in just a minute, and one of the tricks that we use with our clients and that we teach all of our students to use as well. Also, this is important. It's got to be easy to deliver. There are a lot of services out there that you can do that will check off many of these boxes. So they're going to get things that the clients care about. They're going to help them make more money. They're going to help to differentiate you, but they're going to be just an absolute nightmare to fulfill. They're going to take a ton of time and energy and money. There's going to be a lot of what we call scope creep, where you do something and then the client wants something else and it doesn't quite fit in the contract, but it also doesn't warrant another one. So you end up doing it, but you don't get paid for it. A complete nightmare. We don't want that. We want easy to deliver, easy to fulfill. And we want it to have high profit margins. Obviously, can't have a high profit service without high profit margins. Now, there's all the theory, the high level stuff. Let's get into the tactical by taking a look at essentially a low profit and high profit offers. So this will all become a whole lot more clear and you can know what you might want to stay away from. We'll go low profit on the left, high profit on the right, and we'll test my kindergarten style handwriting. Low profit offers. Brace yourself. See all the web designers getting angry, but stick with me. Web design, content marketing. I'm going to break down why these are low profit in just a minute. Also, if you see them and you get a little bit triggered, that's okay. It's all right. I've been where you've been. I've done these things. I'm going to show you a better way. Social media management. For anybody that is actually looking at the agency space right now and you're confused with why some people call it SMMA and some people call it an agency and so on, they're really just synonyms. They're just different words for it. So when I'm talking about social media management, I'm not necessarily talking about SMMA, social media marketing agencies. We're talking about the actual creation of content, posting it on different platforms and so on and so forth. Let's add another one in there as well. Low profit services. So what makes these low profit? Well, without having to go through all our notes, they're essentially not delivering any of these things that we need because web design takes a lot of time. Oh, that was a terrible clock. But there we go. That's our clock. Web design takes a lot of time. So sure, you might be able to charge $3,000, $5,000, maybe even $10,000 to build someone a website, but it's going to take some time to build that actual website, especially if you're charging higher ticket prices for it. Not to mention, remember that scope creep that I talked about earlier? Well, this is where you build the website, then the client comes back and they want this font changed, and that thing changed, and that image resized, and that moved over here. All of which increases the time that you have to sink into this website. Content marketing, very similar. Low profit, because A, it takes time to create the content, even if we're using AI and ChatGPT and Dolly and Midjourney and AI image creators and automatic tools and all of that, it still takes time. There's still going to be back and forth. Not to mention, because this isn't delivering direct, tangible results, as in money, to your clients, we can't charge premium rates for this kind of service. Same thing goes with social media management. There is no direct relation to money. I'm not sure how to draw that out. Let's just draw money and then we'll do that. That works. There's essentially no direct correlation between posting content on social media and making sales. The exception is if every post is a hardcore direct marketing call to action. Click here to confirm this, send in code this, click this link and follow here. But obviously we can't simply do that with organic social media, or our page will quickly become a wasteland, a ghost town. This is what we use ads for. More on ads in a minute. They're a bit of a gray area. And then of course, video editing. Video editing can deliver amazing results, incredibly valuable service, but if you're looking at the average business out there, they're either not going to be able to afford premium rates of $500 to $1,000 a video, or if they can, they're going to be limited in the amount of people that you can serve, and the amount of time that it takes to create videos, especially when you're charging less money, just makes it very tricky to scale profitable agencies this way. It can be done. It's a great skill. Love my video editors to death. Greatest people ever, but very challenging business, and I'm lucky to have them. Let's talk high profit profit services here before we start moving into advertising, which is a bit of that gray area that I definitely want to cover. High profit would be something like missed call text back. What you're going to notice is that a lot of these things on this high profit side are going to be relatively easy to deliver. They're going to be software based, and they're going to require not a lot of skill or energy on your part. You see, there's a bit of a side tangent here to go down for a second. There's a lot of confusion sometimes with what it actually takes to run a successful and profitable agency, and you essentially need two different sides of it. You need the operator, the person that's going to do all of the things, and then you need the person that is responsible for sales and marketing, the actual client acquisition, bringing in new clients for an agency. Now, the fact is, whether we like it or not, the hardest part of running an agency is getting clients. It's not actually doing the work. We can find people that are going to be able to do all of these things for us on Upwork, on Fiverr, on FreeUp, through Facebook groups, through outsourcing websites there, through your local neighborhood. These are not rocket science type skills. What is rocket science type skills is client acquisition, human rapport, conversations, communication, having just a tiny bit of charisma to be able to talk with a client, to be able to walk them through the process, to be able to build trust and establish a reputation, build brand, all of those things. Fortunately, they're all completely learnable. Great marketers are not born, they are trained, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But regardless, let's get back on track. So missed call, text back, something like a web chat widget. This is what enables someone that visits a website to have a conversation that then goes to someone's phone or dashboard where they can carry on the conversation, convert that lead into a customer. Another similar thing to this is like Google Business Chat. Call to action forms. This is similar. It's like, think of a pop-up or an exit pop or anything that shows up on a website that puts out an offer, makes a call to action, encourages someone to enter their contact information in exchange for the offer that's being presented. Online reputation management. This is things like managing Google reviews, responding to reviews, getting more reviews by sending out surveys and forms, and also it involves taking down negative reviews that maybe they're maliciously or falsely. This is a fantastic service to be able to offer to business owners. Anyone that has ever had a Google Plus or Google business page knows that sometimes you can get some weird things out there, totally spammy fake reviews from evil competitors or just spammers in general. And you can actually have those reviews taken down, review requests, and of course, customer re-engagement, which is one of my absolute favorite tools to use. This is where you take a business's existing customer list and then you make them another offer through the use of SMS or through email. You broadcast it out to the list and you can make them a whole lot of money. The beauty is missed call text back. Once it's set up, it's set up. When someone calls the business, if they don't answer, they get a text back right away. We capture leads, we convert them into more clients. Web chat widget, same thing. They visit the website, no one's there because it's a website. Now they can enter their information, have a conversation, we can convert them into lead. Same with Google Business Chat. CTA forms on the website allow us again to capture more website visitors. Most people that visit a website, they bounce and they never come back. Something like 98 to 99% of website visitors see, leave, never come back. Online reputation management not only makes the business look better, but it also increases their rankings. This is a big factor when it comes to ranking higher for Google organic listings. Customer re-engagement. This makes the most money and it does it very quickly because we're marketing to people that have already bought before, which is perhaps our highest value pool. So let's talk about ads. Then I'm going to show you some more services of how we would put all of these together and sort of the buckets that I use and then the software that I use to do that. So first of all, let's talk about ads and why they are kind of like this gray area for not necessarily high profit, not necessarily low profit. Well, let's say that we've got clients with $5,000 budgets. So there's client A, there's client B. They both have a $5,000 budget. Client A decides to run ads and client B is going to be, we'll just say all of these tools that we talked about here. So we'll call it, say, software based to make it a little bit easier. Now, what ends up happening when you're running ads for a client is that they obviously have to pay money to run those ads, but that money doesn't go to you. That goes to Facebook and it goes to Google. Now, you and I both know that is a separate cost, right? Like we know that you're not pocketing all of that money. And if they've got $5,000 for a budget, well, $2,500 can go to you and $2,500 can go to Facebook ads or whatever it is. But what this means is that you're left with a profit, $2,500 cash in your pocket. On the other hand, if we've got a budget of $5,000 and we use, say, software for this and it cost us minus $50, well, let's check my math here, but this means you get a profit now of $4,950. Significantly different, almost double. What we would do if we were doing ads. Now, this is coming from someone that has spent $70 million on Facebook ads for my clients over the past 10 plus years. So I am not denying the value and the power of Facebook advertising, of Google ads, of YouTube ads, of Bing ads, of TikTok ads, of all the ads. They're absolutely amazing, but I typically don't advise them unless the business is doing certainly north of $1 million a year and you're aware that some of your budget is going to be going towards the actual advertising cost. Whether you choose to charge them extra, you bake it into the cost, it doesn't really matter. They don't see it as going to them or you, they just see it as money out of their pocket. So that's what makes ads a little bit of a tricky area. All right, so now let's talk about how do we break these all down? And I put this into something that I call the core four. These core four services are tools that I draw from and teach my students and have all my clients use, and we'll use them basically regardless of what business or market or industry our clients are in. And the reason that we use these all of the time is because they get results, they do it quickly, they check all of the boxes in regards to making the client more money, they don't require a lot of time or energy or fulfillment or expertise on your part, and this is because they're predominantly software based. So the software that I use for this is called High Level. Put a link here to highlevelguide.com that's going to get you an extended free trial and a whole bunch of snapshots and scripts and templates and all kinds of goodies associated with it. I think we've got multiple training courses in there as well. Regardless, highlevelguide.com will get you access to it. This video is not sponsored, but it is kind of the de facto marketing agency software. We've used it for years, and it's what's enabled us to make so much money with our agencies so quickly. But regardless, the features that we use in here fall into a couple different buckets. The first of which is lead generation. Again, it doesn't matter what business, market, industry, whoever it is that you're working with, whether it's a plumber, HVAC, roofing, solar, pest control, funeral home, dry cleaner, doesn't matter. They all need leads. They all need traffic. They all need attention. We'll talk about the funnel in just a minute. But this is where we use things like, I'm not going to write them all back out again out of pure laziness, but missed call text back. This is where we use things like web chat widget. I'm just going to say chat widgets because it's for web and also Google. This is where we use tools like call to action forms on the website. Also for lead gen, this is where we can also create citations. Now, citations are one of the more interesting things of marketing, especially for local businesses and where they're concerned, because they have the primary benefit that we use them for, which is actually to increase the ranking of the website and the Google listings in the map pack. So anytime you're like going to Google and you see those listings right at the top there, and you got the little pins and you want to be in those top 3 spots, that's what citations are one of the major players for. And in fact, we use all kinds of different software to see what citations are being used. Predominantly, High Level has something called a prospecting feature, which I think is magic because what it enables you to do is put in landscapers in Phoenix, Arizona, and it'll pull up all the landscapers and you can click on their websites and you can see what citations they have. And then you can send them an audit and a report and let them know, hey, you're doing some really good stuff here. Looks like you got some good reviews, but you might be missing a few citations. Happy to get them built for you. It'll show you exactly which ones to build. So that's the benefit number 1 of citations, is it does increase your organic rankings. Benefit number 2 of citations, and the reason we put it under lead gen, is because we're also filling out all of these other properties around the internet that are going to link to your clients, including their name, their address, and their phone number. So when people come across some of the more common sites, which are typical social media sites or Yelp or review sites, also some more obscure industry niche specific ones, they're going to find your clients. You're going to get them more action that way. All right, next, number 2, lead conversion. This is where we take all of the good stuff that we've just done and we turn it into actual clients and people for your business. We do this in a couple different ways. The first of which is we use something called the Lead Connector mobile app. This just enables you to give your clients access to an app that's on their phone so they can have the conversations right there. Powerful, amazing tool. This way, rather than just generating leads for your clients and sending them a spreadsheet, which is tricky, boring, relatively ineffective because they're never going to do anything with it. Now we get to send them leads directly to their phone. So imagine, and this has been one of my major keys to success, imagine what's going to happen when they've worked with all these marketing agencies before in the past and they've promised them the moon and they've delivered nothing. And then you go in there and you're like, yeah, I'm going to generate you leads. And then their phone starts buzzing and ringing with actual leads with their names and their phone numbers and their contact information and a question from them. And they can just hit reply and start having conversations. It's life-changing. I don't say that lightly. There's other things we can use as well. We can use text snippets that enables them to essentially just copy and paste high converting messages to it. They can also do video messages if they want. I find most clients don't want to, but the ones that do and the ones that use it end up converting significantly more leads simply because video is just such a powerful tool. Number 3 is online reputation management. We'll just say online rep management, MGMT. getting lazier as we go. Essentially what this does is we can send out review requests on behalf of our clients to get them reviews on Facebook and on Google. We can read and reply, either showing them how to do it or doing it for them. And we can also dispute negative reviews, which is powerful because anybody that has ever had a client with a negative review knows they're going to call you and they're going to be like, hey, this person wrote this terrible thing on my Google page. I don't even know who they are. How do I get rid of this thing? And up until now, most marketing agencies have said, I don't know. Literally, I just don't know. Well, now we can. We just use the software, we go in there, we dispute the review. All right, lastly, customer re-engagement. I talked about this really quickly before. I want to sort of unpack it just a little bit more now, simply because it is so powerful. What this does, and there are requirements here, the business must be a business that has been in business for at least a little bit of time so that they have a customer list. That is the main criteria. Needs customer list. This can be email, this can be SMS, could even be direct mail. We're going to save that for another day because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but between you and me, I love direct mail. It's amazing. And it's become more effective now that less people are using it than ever before. So direct mail, simply because it fell so out of favor and everybody went online. Now, if you can be the one to actually send out postcards or flyers or letters, either for your agency or on behalf of your clients to their previous customers, it has one of the highest conversion rates of almost any other kind of marketing out there. It's truly, I feel like I've said magical a lot in this video, but regardless, it's a powerful tool. So we can send these customer re-engagement campaigns. We put all of this together inside of this core 4, and you've got a winning combination. And of course, you can stack on top of that things like SEO or ads. These are typically the two other kind of services that I will combine when we're putting together these core 4 packages. And the reason that we'll look at SEO or ads comes down to this diagram right here, which is the fact that most businesses are going to benefit from either one of the other two types of traffic, essentially search traffic or discovery traffic. I just realized that is the most monstrous writing. The writing's getting sloppier as we go through, but stick with me. That says search on the left and discovery on the right. What this means, search are things like any search engine. So think Google. So is your client's business something that someone goes to Google to search for? Like, I'm looking for a plumber in my area. I'm looking for landscaping. I'm looking for a contractor. I'm looking for an electrician. I'm looking for a dry cleaner. Is there a car wash near me? Is there a martial arts studio in my neighborhood? Things like that. That's search-based traffic. There we go. All search. On the other hand, discovery traffic are things that people want, but they don't necessarily like log into Facebook in the morning with their credit card and they're like, I'm looking for a dry cleaner or anything like that. But if we put something in front of them, they would be interested in buying. So if we were to use, say, a plumber, for example, well, the search side of the plumber would be like 24-hour emergency plumber. Like, I need a plumber right now. On the discovery side, we might have a plumber that would be like bathroom renovations, upgrade your kitchen, install a new faucet, something like that. And then what we can do is we can get them over here. Of course, like all things, there's overlap, but what you will find, depending on what niche you're in, is that it is going to slant or to weigh one side or the other pretty significantly, like 70-30 at the very least, where you're going to get better results from a search-based strategy of Google or Google Ads or a more social-based strategy and using organic outreach and things like that. All right, let's keep going. So what else do we got to do? How else are we going to make you a whole lot more money with your agency? Well, the next thing is we need to make sure that you're getting better results for your clients. This one's huge. Here's the deal. Clients only care about one thing when it comes to hiring a marketing agency, and that is results. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't, this is going to sound harsh, but like, they don't care about you. They don't care about your story or your mission or how you want to make the world a better place. They care about results, ROI, return on investment. If they give you $1, are you going to give them at least $1, ideally 3, 4, 5, 10 back? That's what marketing is about. It is not an expense. It's an investment in the growth of their business. And if you're the one that's able to not only deliver that, but also clearly communicate how you're delivering that, you're set for life. Like, that was a massive turning point in my agency when I finally put myself in their shoes and I was like, okay, if I had a business and I was going to hire a marketing agency, what would I want them to do? And the answer sounds so obvious, but like, I'd want them to make me money. That's why I'm hiring a marketing agency. So that's what we need to focus on. So what are results? We got to beat this point up because it matters. And because once you get this, everything becomes a whole lot more clear. Results are money. So profit, revenue, cash. That's results. That's what clients care about. You're the one that does that and delivers it for them, you're going to do very, very well, my friend. So next thing is, how do we get them these results? And how do we show them that we're getting the results? Well, first things first, we have to make sure that we're picking from high profit services. The second thing is we need to tie a clear line between you and the money, the results that you're actually getting. It is not enough to simply go out there and do a bunch of marketing and expect them to know. Like, yes, you made a fantastic lead gen campaign and you generated them this many leads. That's cool, but that's like half the equation. The other half of the equation, and the part that's actually going to get you paid, is showing them, hey, I generated you 100 leads that led to 20 appointments, that led to 5 actual calls, that led to 3 new clients. The lifetime value of a client is $2,000, so therefore I've made you $6,000 with this one campaign. So you need to always be trying to equate your services to the money that you're actually making for them. All right, so with that said, let's take a quick look at the marketing funnel. We've all seen marketing funnels before. Essentially, we put a bunch of stuff in at the top and we hope a smaller amount comes out at the bottom. But what I really want you to focus on are sort of the 3 stages of the marketing funnel, and then designing the services and the packages and the way that you present it to clients to essentially make sure that you're covering things at each and every stage of the game. So let's start right at the top and we'll say attraction. Also, you're going to find that these go by a number of different names. They're all kind of the same. Attraction, awareness, interest, attention, anything like that. Attraction, though, are things that first get someone to pay attention, to tune in to whatever it is that you're doing. So for us, this could be things like SEO, it could be ads, it could be outreach, it could be content, it could be anything that is putting our stuff directly in front of potential clients. I just realized yellow is probably not going to be easy to see, so let's go, we'll go red for engagement, which takes place next. So once someone sees your stuff or your client's stuff, and they've seen the SEO because they're ranking at the top, they've seen the ad, they've responded to the outreach, whatever, now we need to get them to engage. This is where things like having a good offer, having a solid funnel, and I'm going to put LP for landing page here, and a really good landing page. Now again, this video is not sponsored, but we use High Level for this, and the reason is because we can create entire campaigns right inside the software for basically any industry that we're working with. So say we've got a martial arts gym, we'll just copy over our martial arts snapshot, we'll install it all, and now we've got an offer for the gym, we've got a landing page for them, we have a follow-up sequence, we have all of the emails and the SMS and everything just at the click of a button. But that is how we turn attraction into engagement. There's other things we can do here as well, like missed call text back and web chats and so on and so forth. But then lastly, we have conversion, and this is where the money gets made, and it's the final piece of the puzzle. So this is where we're going to do things like follow-up. We're going to do things like calendar bookings and appointments. We're going to do things like SMS and email confirmation, essentially anything that allows us to transition that person into a paying client. Normally it's through some kind of a conversation, phone call, an in-person visit, depends on the clients that you're working with, but this is the funnel. And we need to make sure that we have something that answers every step of the process when we're presenting to clients. It's not enough to go in there and just be like, we do SEO. They'll be like, great, that's fantastic. I like higher rankings. And they might even hire you. But if you want them to stick around, you need to show them that, hey, we do SEO, which means that you're going to rank higher. But once you're at the top of the search engines, we're also going to put in a really good funnel. So this way, when someone actually clicks on your site, they're going to go through a funnel. They're going to put in their name, their email, their phone. We're going to guide them through a process that makes them an irresistible offer. We're going to follow up with them here, making sure that they get booked on your calendar. And now we've just turned a click into an actual client, which is where the money really gets made. So all of that, let's put all this together. How are we going to use everything that we've talked about to 8x your profit? Which I appreciate. If you'd have told me this 10 years ago, I would have thought you were a crazy person. So hold the skepticism aside just for a minute. Trust me on this one. This made me a lot of money, and I hope it will do the same for you. But there's really only 3 ways to grow a business. Lots of people have talked about this, but essentially they come down to customers. We'll say get more customers is number 1. Sounds obvious, but important to talk about nonetheless. Increase transaction size. We'll say purchase size. By the way, there's a very, very easy way to do this. So we'll talk about that. And then increase purchase frequency. Increase purchase frequency. So let me write it out so I don't lose my train of thought. There we go. Get more customers. So increase the number of customers that you're getting, increase the purchase size, the amount that they're buying or the cost of it, and increase purchase frequency, how often they're buying. In the case of an agency, how long you're retaining your clients for. Now, I promised one of the best ways to increase purchase size. I said it was a very easy way. This is going to sound obvious, but it really is. It's just to increase your prices. That's really it. And in fact, unlike getting more customers, which is going to require additional fulfillment costs, unlike increasing purchase frequency, which will also acquire additional fulfillment costs, increasing purchase size, the purchase price, the amount that they're spending, doesn't increase any of your costs. It goes straight to your bottom line and just makes you more profit. So I want to show you now what this looks like when we run out the math. So if we've got all of these things, 1 times 1 times 1, we've essentially got this number of 1. So we've got 1 for customers, that's where we're at right now, 1 for purchase size, and 1 for purchase frequency. But here's what happens when we apply just a tiny little bit of math. Let's say that we're able to double the amount of customers that we get. So we're going to do more marketing, more lead gen, more content, more outreach, more whatever it is. Also, this works for your agency as well as for your clients. Also, we may not necessarily double our prices, but we're going to introduce other packages which will allow us to essentially accommodate for that. So if right now, let's say for easy math, you had a package that's like $1,000 a month, well, now you can start introducing a $1,500 a month package and a $2,000 a month package. And just like that, a natural percentage of them, let's say 20% of people, are going to pick the most expensive thing because that's just what they do. It has nothing to do with you or your agency. They're just the kind of people that always buy the most expensive thing. So you need to make sure that that's on the menu. So now we've doubled that, and let's do this. Frequency. And we increase the frequency by providing a better service, by getting them better results. And now, instead of retaining them for just 6 months, they're sticking around for 12 months. And just like that, 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. But it gets better because we can do better. You see, actually, let me come back up here because this is going to be the biggest factor here. Get more customers. I'm going to see if I can fit this in at a cheaper cost. We call this CAC, customer acquisition cost. If you're able to pay less to get a customer, you increase your profit. For example, let's use ads because they're just the easiest way to do this. If I have to spend $10 to get a customer that's worth $100, well, the fastest way for me to make even more money there is to simply acquire that customer instead of $10 at $5. And the way that we do this is by increasing the way that we've packaged our services, by creating irresistible offers, by creating solid, by being specific with our niche, by putting all of the things together that we've talked about, not just in this video, but all of the other videos on the channel, everything like that. But this can be done. It can be done. And when it happens, magic really starts to happen because now we can take, instead of 2 customers, well, we now get 4 customers. Because if we can half the cost of it, we can essentially double it for the same amount of inputs. We'll leave the same. We'll say that we're doing the same size here, and we're saying we're doing the same frequency. We're keeping them for 12 months. But just like that, we can now massively up the profits that you're getting simply by putting all of this into practice and keeping in mind that as good as all of this sounds from a tactical perspective, getting more customers, increasing purchase frequency, increasing purchase size, it all really comes down to that one thing that we talked about right at the beginning, which is results, which is about getting clients things that they actually care about. And of course, all of that stems down to picking the right niche, making sure that you're putting together high profit offers, fulfilling, doing what you say you're going to do, everything else that goes into running a very successful and profitable agency. So if you're curious about what working with us looks like and how we're able to help agencies scale to 6 and 7 figures, I'll make sure to put a link down in the descriptions below this video. And otherwise, catch you next time.